In February 2005, a thatched timber house at an open-air archaeological museum in Suffolk, England, caught fire and burned to the ground. Oak posts, plank floors, a beautifully reconstructed roof, gone in minutes. But when the firefighters left and the archaeologists arrived, something extraordinary happened. The ash and char had traced every original timber perfectly into the sandy soil below. What looked like a disaster turned out to be the most detailed forensic record of an Anglo-Saxon pit house ever produced. And what it revealed should make every modern prepper stop and think hard about what they think they know about winter survival. This was not a hut. It was not a cave. It was not primitive. It was a system, one so effective that on nights when temperatures plunged well below 0 Fahrenheit across northern Europe, the people inside stayed warm. No stove. No chimney. No central heating. Just earth, oak, straw, and the kind of knowledge that gets buried when civilizations forget what they once knew. The Saxons were a Germanic confederation who crossed the North Sea into Britain from around 410 AD onward, and they brought this building type with them. The sunken featured building, called a Grubenhauser on the continent, became the defining architectural fingerprint of early Saxon settlement. Archaeologists found more than 200 of them at one site alone, in Essex, excavated between 1965 and 1978. At a village in Suffolk occupied from the mid-5th to early 7th centuries, around 70 more were uncovered. Across the German plains and the English countryside, the same form repeated again and again. That consistency is not an accident. It is proof that this design worked. The first decision was always the ground itself. Saxon builders chose well-drained soil, sandy heath, gravel terraces, ground that shed water fast. A pit that flooded was a damp grave. They avoided clay and low-lying fields. They preferred a southern exposure to catch whatever thin winter sunlight December offered. Then 2 or 3 people with iron-tipped wooden spades and digging sticks cut a rectangular pit, typically 8 to 14 feet long and 7 to 10 feet wide, and in the best-built houses, more than 5 feet deep. That depth was not cosmetic. It was the entire thermal engine of the structure. Around the perimeter of the pit, oak posts were sunk even deeper into the ground. The largest measured over 20 feet long. 6 of these posts, an arrangement confirmed at the West Stowe reconstruction, supported a ridge beam and a roof frame that rose more than 16 feet above ground level. The post timbers alone outweighed an adult horse. The pit walls were lined with vertical oak planks or woven hazel rods, packed against the earth with clay and moss to seal out drafts and moisture. In the finest houses, a suspended plank floor was laid across joists above the pit floor, creating a dry storage cavity underneath. No nails. No iron fixings. Every joint was cut and held by wedge, peg, or notch. Pure hand carpentry. Above the pit, wattle and daub walls rose to meet the rafters, and the rafters carried the most thermally critical element of the whole structure, the thatched roof. Reed and straw thatch, laid in overlapping bundles 9 to 12 inches thick, produces an R value of between R11 and R14. That is roughly equivalent to 4 inches of modern fiberglass bad insulation. The reason it performs so well comes down to physics. A bundle of reed or straw is mostly air. Millions of tiny air pockets trapped between hollow stems, held still, act as the finest cheap insulator nature offers. The same principle that keeps a down jacket warm. The pitch was steep, around 45 to 55 degrees, so snow slid off cleanly. Deep eaves threw rainwater away from the lower walls and the earthen bank below. The roof was not decorative. It was doing serious thermal work every hour of every winter night. Inside sat the only heat source the building possessed, a clay hearth set in the center of the floor. One open fire. No flue, no chimney, no masonry heat exchanger. Smoke drifted upward into the roof apex and worked its way out through the thatch and the gable openings. Modern reconstructions confirm the interior was genuinely smoky by any modern standard. But the smoke was the price of the heat, and the heat was the price of staying alive. A chimney would have sucked warm interior air straight up and out into the sky. The Saxons vented smoke horizontally near the eaves, keeping the warmth low, dispersed across the shoulders and bodies of everyone inside. An open fire produces between 5 and 18 kilowatts of gross heat, comparable to a modern gas boiler. The catch is efficiency. Traditional open hearths convert only 10 to 15% of that heat into room warming. The rest escapes. In a large modern house, that loss is catastrophic. But the Saxon pit house had a footprint of only 100 to 130 square feet. In a space that small, Even a kilowatt or two of net heat input makes a real difference. Add 80 to 100 watts of radiant body heat from every adult inside, and sometimes livestock sharing the space, and the fire is no longer the whole system. It is just the margin on top of something far more powerful. That something is the Earth itself. At 5 to 6 feet of depth, ground temperature in temperate climate stabilizes between 50 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, regardless of what the air above is doing. In January, when the surface is frozen solid and the air sits at zero, the ground a few feet beneath the floor is still radiating the warmth it absorbed in autumn. The walls and floor of a Saxon pit are not blocking the cold. They are warmer than the air inside and releasing stored heat continuously through the night. Every hour, the soil gives back what the fire and the sun put into it weeks before. The thatched roof holds that warmth against escape. The small fire lifts the interior from the ground's 50 degrees to a livable 65. And the earth surrounding the structure on 5 sides behaves like a thermal flywheel, absorbing excess heat from the fire, then releasing it silently through the long frozen hours after the coals go dark. Saxon peasants did not know the words thermal mass or heat capacity. They knew that a hole dug into the right ground, walled with oak, roofed with thatch, and warmed by one fire, kept families alive on nights when the world above the soil line was trying to kill them. They built their villages around that knowledge. And it worked for centuries.